This classic Hollywood actress was a star that burnt out too soon. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 important facts about Judy Garland. For this list, we're looking at interesting facts about the life and career of Judy Garland. Number 10. She was part of a vaudeville act. Considering her position as one of the greats of Hollywood, it should come as no surprise that Judy Garland's family was in show business long before her career really took off. Both of Garland's parents were actually vaudevillians who ran a theater where vaudeville acts performed.
We'll weave a life of green.
Judy herself, who was born Frances Ethel Gum, actually performed there as of the age of 2.5, singing Jingle Bells for a holiday show. She eventually formed a vaudeville act with her older sisters, and they went by the name the Gum Sisters before changing their name to the Garland Sisters.
Marijuana.
Number 9. She and Mickey Rooney were friends.
We danced the whole night through. Good morning, good morning.
Judy Garland was signed to Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer when she was just 13 years old, making her too old to be a child star, but still too young to be a leading lady. When they were both just teenagers, both Mickey Rooney and Judy Garland, both working with MGM, became friends. They went on to appear in 10 of the same films over the years, and came to be considered one of Hollywood's best on-screen couples, though they were never romantically involved in real life.
Sure I did.
Well,
sure.
How about me then?
Well, forget it, because I have to practice on my drums now.
They were praised for their playful chemistry, which is still evident to this day when you re-watch their old movies.
In old Vienna, their favorite has long been a waltz.
Number 8. She had killer live performances.
Man that won you has run off and undone you.
Judy Garland may be best known for her film roles, but in fact her live musical performances were something to behold, and may have been even more impressive than her on-screen ones.
But when you hear trumpets give out a call, you'll know the joint is really jumping down at Carnegie Hall.
She went back to her stage roots many times throughout her career, with one of the most memorable and notable examples being when she played for Carnegie Hall in 1961. The show has been called the greatest night in show business history, and for good reason. The recording of the performance won Album of the Year at the Grammys, making Garland the first woman to ever take home the prize.
That's where you'll find me.
Number 7. She almost didn't play Dorothy Gale.
Don't cry, Dorothy. We're going to get you to the wizard.
We certainly are.
The Wizard of Oz might just be the most iconic movie of all time, and it's nearly impossible to imagine anyone but Judy Garland playing Dorothy.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
But as with many projects, there were several other actresses considered for the part before Garland was cast, including Shirley Temple and Deanna Durbin. Because of contract issues, however, Garland got the part, and the rest is Hollywood history.
Toto, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
In the role, she was supposed to be playing younger than her 16 years, so her costume included restrictive corsets to give her a more childlike appearance.
If I ever go looking for my heart's desire again, I won't look any further than my own backyard. Because if it isn't there, I never really lost it to begin with.
Number 6. The Wizard of Oz was the start of her addiction history.
Some place where there isn't any trouble. Do you suppose there is such a place, Toto?
Later in life, Judy Garland dealt with issues of addiction, but it turns out her relationship with prescription medications started at a young age. According to Gerald Clark, her mother actually started giving her pills before she was even 10 years old to make her more energetic.
You're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
Garland alleges that on the set of The Wizard of Oz, she was prescribed amphetamine so that she could keep up with the fast pace of filming, as well as barbiturates to act as sleep aids. Though these claims have been denied by others, Garland maintained that this was the beginning of her battle with addiction.
There, lie quiet now. You just had a bad dream.
Number 5. The film she was almost in. Because of her struggles with drug addiction, Garland ultimately lost out on major film roles to other actresses. She was cast in 2 films where she was set to co-star with Fred Astaire, The Barclays of Broadway and Royal Wedding.
Am I late? I'm sorry, Mr. Hughes. I couldn't catch a bus.
But she had frequent absences on set and began calling in sick during principal photography, so she was replaced by Ginger Rogers in The Barclays of Broadway and Jane Powell in Royal Wedding.
Why, it's amazing.
Yes, it is rather, isn't it?
She was even set to star in Annie Get Your Gun, but similar commitment issues led to her being replaced by Betty Hutton.
You can't get a man with a gun, with a gun.
After all this, MGM canceled their contract with Garland after a partnership that lasted for 14 years. Number 4. She was body shamed. Though by today's standards, a young Judy Garland had a seemingly slim figure, she was considered to be overweight by the studio she worked for, and was forced to be on a restrictive diet, with employees keeping tabs on what she was eating.
Don't run home and cry.
She was even given amphetamine diet pills. She shared a recollection of this time in later years, saying, quote, "From the time I was 13, there was a constant struggle between MGM and me, whether or not to eat, how much to eat, what to eat. I remember this more vividly than anything else about my childhood."
You know you made me love you.
Number 3. One of her famous scenes took 3 days and 27 takes. Long before the 2018 Lady Gaga and Bradley Cooper version, and even before the 1976 Barbra Streisand iteration, Judy Garland starred in the 1954 film A Star is Born.
The night is bitter, the stars have lost their glitter, the winds grow colder, suddenly you're older.
A song from the film, The Man That Got Away was ranked by AFI as number 11 on their list of 100 top songs in films. But filming it for the movie was no easy task for Garland. They shot the scene 3 different times on 3 separate occasions, with one of those shoots taking 3 days and a whopping 27 takes to get right. Since the song is supposed to evoke emotion, Garland reportedly wouldn't stop until she got the reaction she wanted from the crew. The 3rd time, 4 months later, was actually the charm though, with Garland sporting new clothes, new hair, and on a whole new set. The last version ended up in the film.
A one-man woman looking for the man that got away.
Number 2. She won an Oscar at 17. In 1939, Judy Garland put out 2 major films. One was, of course, The Wizard of Oz, but Babes in Arms was also released that year. At the Academy Awards ceremony the following year, she was honored with the Academy Juvenile Award, which recognized her acting in both movies. She became one of only 12 young actors in history to ever receive this auspicious award. Sadly, though she was nominated for other Oscars throughout her career, including for her role in A Star is Born, this was the only one that she actually took home.
You find that out of all the words in the world, just 2 stick in your mind. Thank you.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. She was and is a gay icon.
Excuse me, the hospital where Judy Garland spewed out Liza Minnelli is a gay landmark. This is just a bookstore.
During the first half of the 20th century, when Garland's career was in full force, being gay in America was still largely considered taboo. For some reason, gay audiences connected with Garland's performances as well as her personal life. In fact, if you've seen Clueless, you know that a friend of Dorothy is a sort of code term for a gay man.
He's a disco dancing, Oscar Wilde reading, Streisand ticket holding friend of Dorothy, know what I'm saying?
No way.
He's gay.
And while the definitive origin of this phrase is unknown, many do attribute it to being related to The Wizard of Oz and Judy Garland herself. Garland's death and funeral took place during the start of the Stonewall riots, and many have connected these two events as having been related.
And you are their national heroine, my dear. It's all right. You may all come out and thank her.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.